Good morning, Nepal. Good morning, India. Everybody watching us live now from South Asia and across the world. Today's session, it's about credibility interview. Uh, if you are thinking about studying in the UK and the credibility interview, that would be taken by the university that you are applying to, as well as the UK High Commission. So we have got our special guest today, my very good friend, and also the market's popular, the industry's like popular figure now, Mr. Braz Visunja, who is the regional head for the University of Wolverhampton, which is very popular in Nepal, in India, and many parts of South Asia. Welcome, Braz, to this very special show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me on this show. And this is for the first time I have seen that any partner agency or any institution is focusing only on credibility interview. So good that you have proactively started it. And I'm honored that I am a part of this initiative. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Without your support, it wouldn't be possible. And I really appreciate, together with my team, for your innovative ideas about helping the students who are thinking about studying in the UK. Absolutely, they should know like what comes next when they are applying to their desired university, desired program in the UK. So this is with the same idea. I believe like that would be helpful for all of us, and especially to our students who are applying. We have received their offers on hand, and now thinking about the next step. That is, of course, the credibility interview for many, or whatever university has stated on their offer or communicated with them. All right, and dear viewers, today it's going to be the very first time on our platform, live platform that credibility interview tips will be shared with you guys, which could be useful for any universities. Like we have, especially prepared by our special guest today, Mr. Brazwison Zha from the University of Wolverhampton, and he's the regional head, and he has plenty of idea. He's expert in this industry, and definitely it's our pleasure to have him here. Please watch us live till the end of this show. You're gonna love it. You're gonna get as much information as you need and as you want. So feel free to ask us any question in between. We'd be happy to help you out. All right. So as you are getting prepared, first I would start with a sad story that we had of sad news. I believe last week that Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, uh, was he died at the age of 99, and it was a very sad moment, not just for the UK, for the whole world. And we really feel honored to his contribution for the people, not just in the UK, but everywhere in the world. So our sincere tribute, Bradford pays heartfelt condolences to late Prince Philip, uh, the Duke of Edinburgh, and I hope uh, everybody knows him very well for his contribution to the world. We wish may his soul rest in peace. So we mourn with that, and now let's get back to the work. Let's back to our work. Uh, and yes, in the meantime, I would like to actually inform you, Braz, that Nepal is going under a kind of like lockdown, but not like we had last year. But we don't call it lockdown. But big crowds. People are banned in public places, or even in the societies, even in our homes, for the sake of the people. That is, we must be aware of the rising, like the next coronavirus wave. For that control, I guess the Nepal government is imposing that sort of restriction. But again, we are not restricted to offer our services, especially the counseling, and the students who are actually thinking about going abroad, they still can apply. And the good news is UK is still open, because the border is still open. The Ministry of Education Nepal still issues the no obstacle letter once they have the offer letter. This is good news. All right. So once again, officially, I want to welcome you, Braz. Then we'll start our show.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. Dear viewers, yeah, this is the time about studying in the UK. If you think like, many countries' border are not open, but you are concerned about your future, about studying abroad, and UK is the first priority, of course, this is the time to learn more about UK. And uh, we gonna be sharing with you about the tips, how you should cope up with the challenges in regards to your university questionnaire before you are asked to make a deposit or get the cash later, and then before you get the visa by the High Commission. All right, so Braz, if you could start about saying a little bit about that, and then we go one by one. I think like you have different segments of each of the topics here. Over to you.
Of course. Thank you so much again. Thanks to all the viewers, those who are watching us, and those who could not join online right now. They can definitely refer to this video later on. They can share it with your friends. Thank you again, and good morning, Nepal. I am Braj from University of Wolverhampton, and I'm working here as a regional head. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about University of Wolverhampton, because most of you are already aware what University of Wolverhampton is, what are we offering, and all of these good things. Today's live show, we will be focusing on credibility interview, because this has become very tricky these days. What I feel that sometime I have seen that students, those who are very good students, very good academics, got a very good university offer letter, but somehow because they could not convey the same at the time of credibility interview, may be done by the university, may be done by the visa officer, and unfortunately they could not get the visa. So their dreams were not fulfilled just because of one thing, that they could not convey the message sharply to the visa officer, to the credibility interview officer, how it should be, how it was supposed to be. So this session we are going to focus on those, and I am glad to say this, that all over Nepal I have seen that students are very well aware. They are very good students, active students, in fact proactive students. Most of the students, offer holders whom I meet during my visits in Nepal, I see that they all are very much aware. But sometimes they, while they are answering the question, when I ask them casually some questions about University of Wolverhampton itself, sometimes they are not being able to frame the answer in a chronological way. So we will be discussing all of these today. If you have any question, you can ping it here. You can write it in the comment box, and Pawan and myself will be happy to help you in those too.
Absolutely, sir. Well, if I'm a student, and then if I'm an international student, and of course, I search around different other options, like many other universities, the programs that they offer to you, and the cities, in the UK. Not just like in England, could be in Scotland or Wales or like Northern Ireland. Of course, like I have so much of information that are being shared. If I just like hop around, let's say if I shop around, like going to different consultants, or like talking to friends and families living there, or like who are expert in this. So what is the first thing that you should step in as a student, as you can advise, like.
Um, Thank you so much, Pawan. This is a bang on question, and thank
Mhm,
you that you started with this.
mhm,
Here, I would want to convey, this is my personal opinion, but I would want to convey all the students that you need to understand that why is this credibility interview being conducted.
mhm,
So, by this credibility interview, the visa officer or the credibility interview officer, they just want to see one thing, whether as a student you are a genuine student or not. If you are a genuine student, you are definitely getting visa, your credibility interview is being cleared. There is no problem in that. No need to be scared of credibility interviews, because in the credibility interview, the visa officer or the credibility interview officer, they only want to see that the apart from the documents which you have submitted at the time of application or at the time of CAS request, apart from that, what, how are you well knowledge, how are you well briefed, how are you well researched about the university, about the program, what is the reason, why have you chosen this, why have you chosen United Kingdom, why this course. So all of these things make you a genuine student. So if you are a genuine student, if you have done a good research, you need not worry about credibility interview. So this is the prime understanding which we have to make as a student and as a agency counselors as well, that we need to understand the reason behind it and then start thinking in that perspective and preparing for the credibility interview. And you know what, I would suggest that there is nothing called preparation of credibility interview. No need to prepare for anything. This is not an examination. This is just one thing, that whether you have research. So if I am researched well, I will definitely answer all the questions confidently. If I am researched well, I know what I have to answer. If I am not researched well, if I have not referred to the university website, if I have not referred to the course modules, etc., etc., if I don't know what I want to be in future, then I sometime I fumble out, and then sometime I fail the credibility interview.
Absolutely, because like the first step is always a milestone, and then it really matters, like how you take it, right? So I absolutely agree with you, and the main things that you should expect as international student after reaching to the UK, and as at the university, starting the program of your choice. So as an admission officer, from that perspective, like what would you see as your intention to study? Like a student must have like must has that intention, a clear intention to study, or his reason to just like join the university because he wants some exposure, like experience the UK, or blah blah blah, like what is it, like the intention is something, it really matters or not?
Yes, of course, intention is really matters. And by intention, what we want to know as a university, that if you have applied for a program, that means you want to study, that means you are applying for tier 4 study visa. So if you are applying for a study visa, you need to prove that you are a good student.
Hmm.
And when you are working on it to prove that you are a good student. So say for example, your intention is to work in the United Kingdom,
Hmm.
your main intention is to get settled in the United Kingdom, and study is just a medium, you're not so serious about study, your intentions are not clear, these are
Hmm.
malified intention, and you could not clear a credibility interview. So to establish a clear intention, what things needs to be covered are, you need to say this, that the which course, and you have to be really well researched about that which course you have applied for. Then
Hmm.
what are the reasons why have you chosen University of Wolverhampton or any other institution for that matter?
Hmm.
Why have you chosen to study into the United Kingdom? How will you fund your studies? Then also sometimes you will have to establish a fact between chronology between your previous study, your future work aspiration, if you want to work or if you want to do further studies. So there should be a link between these two, your past, your present, what you are going to do, and your long term goal or your short term goal, and then your family circumstances and your strong ties with the country. So if I'm being able to establish my strong ties with the country, then credibility interview officer is convinced that, oh, your intention is just to study. You will go, you will study, you will explore the opportunities which is related to study, and then your plan is to go back to your maybe your country, or maybe you want to start on something on your own, or you have your own job aspirations. So this is then linked, and you are then doing good. So this is what I would like to say about the intention of the student. It should be clear.
Hmm. Absolutely. Excuse me. Yeah, like the questions that we often find our students being asked by the university or even the High Commission visa officer would like to know, like as we are coming under discussing under intention, like they want to know, why do you want to go to the UK, like come and study in the UK, or like what is UK being different country for you than other country, like why not your own country? Let's say if you are from Nepal, uh, why don't you want to continue your studies in Nepal, rather want to go to the UK, right? And also, like other countries are also popular. Let's say, for example, US or Australia or any other countries. So like you should be able to differentiate what are the reasons behind, and why do you want to choose the UK, and typically the University of Wolverhampton. So of course, like there should be the reasons and the benefits that you must be able to demonstrate. So what would you say that students would choose to the UK, and what benefits can you expect with the UK degree?
Yeah, there are more than 100 benefits. And what I want that students should do their own research.
Hmm.
Don't go by my answer. Your answer should be a unique one. It should be your
Hmm.
answer. It should be
Absolutely.
your answer pertaining to the question. It should not be a rehearsed one. It should not be a referred one. So that's why I'm not going to answer this what you have asked, Pavan. I'm so sorry for it.
All right.
But I would like to give you some example. Like say
Mm-hmm.
for example, I'm a student and I'm being asked that why don't you want to study in Nepal itself? It's a good country.
Mm-hmm.
There are some good universities. There are some good colleges. Why are you not studying here? And I am applying for MSc Computer Science, for
Mm-hmm.
example. And if I answer this to the officer that I'm going to study MSc Computer Science and this is not available with many of the university and the colleges in Nepal, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I have chosen United Kingdom. This is not a good answer because
Mm-hmm.
there are multiple universities and the colleges in Nepal where they have MSc Computer Science or relevant subjects. So if you want to say this, then your answer should be like maybe that in computer science I want to study something specific which is not popularly available at most of the institution in Nepal, which I am getting at University of Wolverhampton. So that's why Nepal was not my prime focus for further studies. So
Mm-hmm.
this is how you can make it tailor made. You can do your research and then you have your correct answer. So that's why don't refer to any answer. You do your research. If you're doing good research, you're definitely going to clear it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I appreciate your answer. And a quick question about the students might want to say like, hey, I submitted the statement of purpose to you while I was submitting my documents for offer letter, and I received my offer letter, and that should suffice the credibility interview requirement for me. So does a SOP or statement purpose suffice that credibility interview, or what is it?
Yes. So by this, a student wanted to say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that I
Mm-hmm.
have submitted my statement of purpose
Mm-hmm.
and my personal statement was good. That's why I've got an offer. Then
Mm-hmm.
why are you asking me again the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would want to say to the students that if you are genuine
Mm-hmm.
and if the somebody is asking you, can you confirm that you are genuine?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say no? If you would not say no, that means the answer is yes. So by credibility interview, we again want to emphasize and we again want to make sure that you are a genuine student. So what is the problem in appearing for a credibility interview? And in
Mm-hmm.
fact, in credibility interview, you can cover many of the factors which you cannot write in a good language in your personal statement. So
Mm-hmm.
like something emotional value which you are carrying for your further studies that you can cover in your credibility interview, which is very difficult. I'm not a good writer, and I
Uh-huh.
believe that most of the students who are applying to the universities for their masters or bachelor studies, they are not poet, they are not a very good writer, storyteller. So for those students, it would be a good opportunity to convey the message to the interviewer or to the university again via credibility interview, that what were the other factors they have chosen to finalize this university or the course.
Absolutely, and I also believe the same thing, because uh, you might want to say as a university officer, hey, this could be the SOP that could be written by somebody else, or let's say even the agents could have helped you, or the friends or family could have helped you just to get an offer. But to double check, verify this is the genuine applicant, and you are the genuine applicant, I think the university still wants to take a credibility interview. Is that right? Correct?
Yes, you can say that. Yes.
All right, great. Thank you, sir, for that. And of course, so you want to jump into the next question about intention, or you want to say something about it?
No, let's go ahead. In the intention, as you have already mentioned it,
Hmm.
so there are multiple factors like funds, finance, all of
Hmm.
these things which are making a very good value at the time of credibility interview. So I'm going to answer these one after another stepwise while you are putting up your questions, Pawan.
Sure, definitely. I'll be like asking you as much in order as I can, and that would definitely help us all who are watching us, and then in this show. Uh, typically, see, we just talked about why UK and what sort of things, why not other countries, and why not your home country. So now, like about choosing the University of Wolverhampton. So what makes the university, students choose University of Wolverhampton? So of course, you want to ask about that, to the students applying. So. Is it because you offer great programs, it could be a research based university, or you have met with somebody from the university in your home country, or at least have a communication with, and then that makes you feel more comfortable like coming to the university? So what is the connection that you see the students establishing between the university and themselves while choosing the university?
Um, yes. So as you were telling that the students got some references through peer students, or sometime maybe I have traveled somewhere. Students met me there. They got to know about University of Wolverhampton, and then they applied. Or maybe somebody met my colleague Rabindra or Suvansu or Pawan there
Hmm.
in the Bradford office, and they
Hmm.
told, "Oh, University of Wolverhampton is a good university. Go ahead and apply." Till
Right.
then it is okay, but what genuinity would be, what in good intention would be, that after hearing this, students will go back, they will do their own research about it, and then they will make a consensus that yes, what Pawan said, what Rabindra said, what Subhansu said, what Brad said was right. And if
Hmm.
that is there, this is established, then it's your university. You go ahead and apply. Just don't apply that somebody said it is a good university, because this is a matter of your future.
Hmm.
Your life is going to be changed after completion of your study from University of Wolverhampton. It's going to be a better life. You are
Hmm.
going to invest a lot of money, somewhere around 25, 30 lakhs Nepalese rupees you are investing there in per year. So when you are investing such a big money there in the United Kingdom for your studies, it should be a well researched. So that's why, if you are being referred, you do your research. If somebody is telling you something, you do your research and then establish a fact. And while you are doing a research, what will I suggest? That say somebody told you that this course is very good at University of Wolverhampton. As a student, what you have to do, or what I would request you to do, is go ahead, go to the University of Wolverhampton website and check the accreditation. There are multiple accreditations like RICS, CIOB, CIM, REBA, BCS, etc. There are multiple accreditations. So check on the university website whether your course is accredited or not. Then you check the course content. Then you check that with other universities, do they have similar course? If yes, then what makes University of Wolverhampton a good course content university? And when you are establishing your fact, and when you find no, University of Wolverhampton is actually providing me a very good course, or what I was being referred to is correct, then you finalize it, and then you go ahead and apply to the university.
Absolutely. Brasser, we are of course going to cover like four main section of this credibility interview for many of our students. So we now under the intention to study in the UK at the university of your choice and the University of Wolverhampton. Of course, we covered three questions here, and just to give you the insight, I'm gonna ask four questions in each section, and of course this is the transcript, this is the file that you have shared with me through Suvansi as well. So I believe this has been helpful for all of us. Yes, like you said, we should not just like rely on somebody else. Rather, like we should make some research by ourselves. So always a research based applicant is a well prepared applicant. I completely agree with you. So, do you think like the city where the university is located, that also matters, or the students number coming from other countries? Let's say the international student population, or like let's say sometimes the marketing gimmicks, like hey, like ours is a big city where you might find the jobs easily as part-time jobs, all these things. So what would you think, like those things matter or not?
Of course, these things matter, and that's
All
what
right.
when I am meeting some students, and I always, give them an example that while you are going for a visit, for a casual visit on a holiday with your friends, maybe you are going to Pokhara for that
Hmm.
matter. What will you do while you are going to Pokhara for say 4 days? You will do a research about where hotels, where am I going to stay, how
Hmm.
much will that cost me, which are the 5 or 10 good things to do in Pokhara, and
Right.
then you will do a research. You will read the Google reviews, etc., etc., and that's how you will plan your 4 days visit to Pokhara. And for that, you will do at least 2 to 3 hours of research. So when you can do this for 4 days journey to Pokhara, which is in your country itself, then when you are going to Wolverhampton, which is like thousands of miles away from your home country, why should not I expect a very good research for at least few days? You are doing it, then you are comparing that, then you are talking it with your parents, with your friends, with your learned counselors, with myself if I am available. You then you clear your doubts, and then you finalize. No, no, my decision which I have taken is a very good decision. I'm not going to repent for my decision. So let's go ahead and finalize University of Wolverhampton, or maybe some other university if you want to apply to. But this is what I expect from a genuine student. And when you are finalizing University of Wolverhampton, yes, you should look at the location as well, that how good the commutation is with some other big cities, how much would be your living expense, because funds are very foremost. So it should not be the case that you have planned your funds in such a way that it should not be very high, but unfortunately you are planning and you are going settling studying into some city where the living expense is very very high. So in that case your calculation goes wrong, and then it is making a lot of trouble to you while you are studying. You cannot concentrate your studies then because you are worried about your living expense. So that's why, yes, I would say that yes, you should do all of these research, and these things matter a lot while you are finalizing University of Wolverhampton, Pawan.
Absolutely. That's a great prepare. I think like that's a great tips. Thanks for that. Like I've got last question under this section. Dear viewers, I hope like you are enjoying our talk show regarding your uh, interview credibility. I mean the credibility interview tips. If you are a student thinking about studying in the UK and not sure like in what sort of questions will be asked by the university before you are issued with the CAS letter, or the visa officers who could be calling you and asking you the questions about why UK, why this university, why this program, all this stuff, like they could be asking you. So this is the very first time I believe, like I do not hear from any other consultants to my knowledge that they are offering this type of session about preparing yourself for the interview credibility. So this is the time. Please be attentive. Watch us live. You could get a lot of information that could be helpful for you. All right. So the last question under this would be: see, the course, does it matter or not? Like which program you were going to study. Let's say in the UK, there could be the big demand for health workers. So let's say nurse or something, or nurse, or even like the engineers, or like IT people. So does it matter, like in terms of visa issuance, the visa officer really has to consider those job scope before issuing the visa, or the students whosoever applying with the university of their choice, like University of Wolverhampton, and they have received the offer, they have met with all the criteria, and now have met the UKBI criteria for visa. So this would be is making the decision, like, or let's say granting the visa. So what is your opinion on that?
Sorry, Pawan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you hear? Did you get all my question, Brasa?
I think I lost you, but I got a question. I would like to answer that.
Thank you.
What you said that whether the course selection or the right course can
Hmm.
be a key factor while getting the visa granted.
Absolutely.
Um, I would say no.
All right.
I would say the best thing would be you check within yourself. What have you studied in the past? Where your future aspirations are going?
Dear viewers, I think like we have lost the connection with Brasser, but he will be back with us soon. I am sure, like, you are enjoying this. So, in the meantime, I'll be playing a video about the University of Wolverhampton. Don't go anywhere. Brasser will be joining us shortly. Please feel free to drop your questions here. In the meantime, I'll be happy to like pop that up and then ask it to Brasser. All right. This is Pawan Bista, the managing director of Bradford Global, currently in California, and hosting you a live session about studying in the UK, especially at the University of Wolverhampton. And I have my special university representative, Mr. Braz Bisunja, who's the regional head from the University of Wolverhampton. And I hope like you are getting the great tips regarding your study plans in the UK. While we have Brasser rejoining us, uh, let me play a video which would be helpful for you to know about the university and prepare yourself. All right, just a quick video here.
University is a big choice. Let's make it easy for you. We're going to tell you what makes Wolverhampton so special. 6 things in 60 seconds. Let's go. At Wolverhampton, you're our priority. Big statement, but you really are at the heart of what we do. We'll give you a first-class education and support you every step of the way. That starts with providing you with choice. We're experts in the old, the new, and the fields that make a difference. It's why the historians, engineers, and nurses of the future choose us. And in our classrooms are some of the best academics. Teachers, researchers, explorers, and authors, each with their unique tale to tell. Our campuses are pretty cool too, filled with state-of-the-art kit and great spaces to study. But it's not all work. You'll never be short of places to go, things to do, or people to see, because we're bang in the heart of the UK. And when the time comes for you to leave us, you'll be equipped with the skills you need to succeed, whatever your ambitions. And that's what makes us special. What we do is about you in 60 seconds.
Yep, dear viewers, that was it about the University of Wolverhampton, a quick video. So I have my special guest, Mr. Brasser, back on the studio. Brasser, we just let me pull that up for you guys. And Brasser, we just lost you for a second. And in the meantime, I could like play a video about the University of Wolverhampton. Yeah, dear viewers, it was let's say a beautiful mistake, by the way. Though we had technical glitches, we could like play a video about the University of Wolverhampton. Actually, I was waiting for a chance to like play a video. I think I got time. It's the right time. Yes, we just finished our first section. The first segment was more about what could be the intention to be mentioned to the university officials and to the UKVI, the visa officers during your visa process. So that was great tips, Browser. Thank you for highlighting those areas, and I'm sure our students have got all those information correctly. Well, I want to move on to the next section about information about your course, the University of Wolverhampton. So, how much does it matter? Of course, like we covered some of this in the previous section. I'm not gonna take. I hope like we're not gonna take like the same time like we had before. I mean, we could finish it in like next 10 to 15 minutes this section, so we can go to the next one, that is your future plans, and the final one would be financial question. So we try to cover them as much as possible, and also as quickly as possible, like in between 10 to 15 minutes in each section. Let's try that. Okay. uh Brasser, so what would you think the courses offered at the University of Wolverhampton are of a great interest to the international students? I know like you are offering bachelor's, master's program. We call it like UGN undergrad program. Uh, Many of those postgrad programs are with the placement year as well, meaning that the first year you would study in the campus, and the second year could be at the employers. I mean, you could be working as part of your study. So what are some of the programs that are quite popular, and how the students should prepare about their answer, like what sort of courses they have chosen for?
Yes. So at University of Wolverhampton, I'm very proud to say that we have around 500 plus courses available for international students at UG and PG level. And in masters, we have 11 courses which are with professional practice, so with internship here. And at bachelors, we have more than 50 courses with sandwich placements. So we have multiple different variety of courses. What would I suggest to all the students, that you go ahead, check the course modules, check that what you wanted to study and whether the university or the particular course is providing the same course module which you are or of your interest, and that's how you will finalize your course. So in doing that, if you are finding some difficulty, if you have some doubts in there, like say for example you wanted to study, say, sports and exercise science, or MSc strength and conditioning, or maybe MSc mass communication, journalism, music, etc. We have all of these courses along with our popular courses like engineering, computer science, MBAs, etc. So if you have some particular doubt about some of the program which maybe I'm not aware of, so what will I do, or what will your counselors do? They can connect you directly with the university professors. You ask them that your particular doubt, and you are getting that resolved. Also, while you are checking the course on the university course page, when you go there at University of Wolverhampton, our web page is wlv.ac.uk. You go there, in course finder you write the course name and it will throw the result. You go and check that what are the future aspects of this course. So after completion of the study, what can you be? So you check that what are our students being. At the same time, you also go ahead and check on the university website what is the graduate employability of the students when they are completing their course from University of Wolverhampton. Like at the Ready Recona, I can tell you that our overall graduate employability overview is 96%, and
Wow.
PG postgraduate overview is 99%. So that's what you need to check it, and then you need to see that which all employers, which all companies are already registered with University of Wolverhampton. All of these information are on the university website. You go ahead, check it. If you're finding it difficult, get in touch with myself, Pawan, or any of the expert counselor, and they will tell you how to get those information.
Absolutely, and I have just share the links about checking the programs, each programs under the University of Wolverhampton website on the chat box. Please, dear viewers, go through that link as well, and that will help you as well. Brasser, when you are preparing for your interview with the university or with the visa officer, so what you should know about know about the course, program that you are going to pursue? Is it about the start and end date, or the module of the program, or which label of your degree, and how many lectures every week, the name of the modules every week that you'll be taking, or in every semester, or why they are interesting to the student? So should they be prepared that way, or what is the know-how that they should make about telling about the course?
So I will go with option E, all of the above. So whatever you said,
Great.
They
Mhm.
have to see all of these things, and they have to be prepared on all of these things, and that's how they will finalize. So Pawan, what you have actually in your question itself, all of these things which you have covered are absolutely right, and that is the answer of it, that yes, as a student you need to do all of these things.
Absolutely great. Thank you. I'm glad that I could cover those. And yeah, if I were a student, of course, I would know everything like we just mentioned, because I should know the course that I'm going to take, and starting and ending date, of course, like everything that I should know, because I'm going to be studying there, not just because. Not just like focusing on visas and just like reaching to the UK, rather like the end goal. I would always think about the end goal, that is studying at the university, right? And then getting the degree in time, and then expecting those things. All right. So do you really have to tell the officer that what skills or knowledge will you expect, like that you get from that particular program in the future, or let's say the scope that you should mention?
Yes, so what would I suggest
Hmm.
as a student, that if I am a student, what will I see, that if I say for example I'm studying cyber security,
Hmm.
and say for example I want to do something in future in something in cryptography, then
Hmm.
you need to establish this fact, that what do you know about cryptography. You need to establish the fact that what related to cryptography you have studied in the course modules at University of Wolverhampton. You will also have to demonstrate that in the computer laboratory at University of Wolverhampton, whether you are getting explored through the platforms which will teach you something related to cryptography. So this was just an example. So whatever you want to be in the future, you need to see that whether the course modules are supporting it first, yes, then whether the professors, those who are teaching those course module, when you go and click on their university professors link page, you will see that what all they have done in their life. So you need to see that whether the professors are well equipped enough to teach you these subjects, those particular programs under that course modules or not, and other facilities like library, laboratory, etc., are supporting your future aspirations or not. So if all three things are tick mark, yes, 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 that means you will definitely get those skills. You are aware that what you have to get, and you will definitely get that.
Absolutely. That's the best way, like how we can prepare as a student, if I'm like going to crack the interview with the visa officer, or like first to the university officer. That's right. um, about like a little bit about university. So do I necessarily need to like mention that where the university is located at, and then how big or small, like do I have to compare with other universities, because there are so many universities in the world, and I have chosen the University of Wolverhampton in the UK, and even in the UK there are so many. So how come like came to know about this university? So what are the things that you should tell the officer during the interview? Your opinion on that, please.
Yes, Pawan, thank you for asking this. What I feel, that if you are being asked, you should reply. So if the
Hmm.
visa officer is asking that why have you chosen this university, what is the benefits of location, you need to answer that. If the visa officer or the credibility interview officer is asking you that have you compared it with other university, or if they are asking that have you applied to any other university. So if they're asking you have you applied to any other university, maybe sometime it happens that no, I have not applied,
Hmm.
because I have done my research and I found that University of Wolverhampton is very good. Then why should I waste my time just for the for the namesake I'm applying to seven more universities?
Hmm.
If we should not do that. But when I'm being asked that have you applied to any university, our answer would not be only no, because by telling only no, we are not establishing this fact. We are not conveying this to the visa officer that I have done some research. So your answer should be a complete answer. So you will say that yes, no, sir, I have not applied to any other university. But while doing a research about the university, I have compared University of Wolverhampton with University of A, B, C, D, and these factors I have taken care of. And by evaluating on these, I found that University of Wolverhampton, or this particular course at University of Wolverhampton, is making sense for my lifetime, for my career goal. So that's why I have finalized on University of Wolverhampton and not applied to any other university. So it's not going to take more than 1 minute to establish this fact that you have done a research. At the same time, if you just say no and then don't say anything, you are giving that interview officer an opportunity to assume. He may assume positive, he may assume negative. If he's assuming negative, he is not wrong, but you are not getting the visa, which you don't like. So that's why you need to be precise, but at the same time, your answer should be complete answer.
Absolutely, because you must share your supporting idea to what you have just like mentioned. Like if it is yes, give the reasons, right? If no, give them some ideas, why you said no. So this should be the reason. So I think that's what you are trying to advise to the students, and we completely agree with that. Yes, because see, like just saying yes or no means you really can't share everything what you know and how you want it. Like so I think it should not be a vague kind of very mixed kind of answer. You have to be very precise, like you said. Thanks for that. Now under this section, info about your course and the university itself, the University of Wolverhampton. See, we just covered the course, know how about course, and then what skills do you expect the like you know that develops into you by taking the course at this university. And the next was about the university. Do you have to know about the university and what are the things you should know about? We just mentioned. And also now two questions I have got it, here. So about first the facilities, and the other would be the accommodation, or how you're gonna accommodate yourself with the family or the friends, or off campus, on campus. How is it? So before that, let me start with the facilities. So what facilities that are attracted to you if you are asked by the officer? So what are one or two answers that could actually help the students?
Yes, so while talking about facilities, you can say that the number of campuses which University of Wolverhampton has, at the same time, your answer should focus on that particular campus where you are going to study. So it
Hmm.
should not be the case that I'm going to study in city campus, but my answer is totally on Telford campus. The visa officer would say that yes, you know, but you don't know what you have to know. So you need to be a little bit concerned about that. Also in your answer you can say that you can speak about university science park, knowledge hub, our online library, our the international accolades which University of Wolverhampton has. Like for example, as per QS, we are 5 star in internationalization. So that is the kind of exposure in terms of learning culture which you'll be getting at the university. In teaching excellence, we are 5 star rated, so 5 out of 5. In employability, we are again 5 star rated. In
Hmm.
inclusiveness, like apart from the studies, you do lot many other activities as well. So in
Hmm.
that inclusiveness, we have 5 star rated. In terms of facilities, we are 4 star rated by QS. So your answer should be fact based. At the same time, you should always be aware that where are you going to study and what all facilities are you getting at that particular campus. Also here there is one factor which you have don't have to do is don't speak a lot about the generic thing that the university is having 24/7 library, it is giving me shuttle services. Yes, we are giving that, but speak about unique things because these are available at every university, almost every university in the United Kingdom. So this is
Hmm.
not making your university unique, may that be University of Wolverhampton
Exactly.
or any other university. So you need to say those unique factors which will make your answer unique for yourself, tailor made for the university. If you are doing that, you are good enough.
Absolutely, those facilities must be very unique, which may not be available at other universities, and you should figure out which are what are those facilities, like you said. So absolutely, these things. It's just not like the course, the location, or the university name. Rather, you should go into the depth of the university and the program that you are going to pursue. I absolutely agree with you. Now about the accommodation. See, you could stay off campus or on campus as well. So what could be the best option, like in terms of saving your money, right? And other would be how accessible, like to commute to the campus, like living off campus, it would be like. And cost wise, living in big cities like in London, or like or in your university area, like in different campuses like Telford, or even like students living in Birmingham and like commuting to the university. So, or like other areas of the United Kingdom. What are those aspects that you want to mention to the students, so they will have the know-how knowledge here?
Of course. So I would like to go back to my example which I had given for Pokhara. So while you were
Okay.
going to Pokhara for holidays,
Uh-huh.
you had searched about hotels. You have seen the distance from your hotel to most favorite places. From the city center, your hotel was how far in Pokhara. So I want the students to do the same research. And if I talk about university accommodation and the cost effectiveness, I would say that our city standard room in city campus is costing you around 90 pound each week for your stay. So if it is
Mhm.
90 pound each week, then maybe for a month it would be 360 pound, 4 weeks in a month. So that is going to be your accommodation cost if you are staying in the university campus. So in terms of cost, University of Wolverhampton or City Wolverhampton is very cost effective. Even if you are staying in the university accommodation, some of my students, they also choose private accommodation. Amongst our students, city university accommodation is very famous, very popular, because it is very cost effective, and it's my students, they enjoy it. They are you are staying with all your friends, those who are studying in the same university. You All the facilities of the university are pretty much accessible to you, so you can go explore those anytime you want. Sports arena, etc., you want to explore those, yes, you can go ahead. At the same time, if you are staying somewhere far from the university, just to save some more pennies, don't do that, because you are missing a very vital part of your life by staying far from the university. So I would suggest and request that even if you are taking private accommodation, do a research. There are multiple hospitals and other private accommodation available near to University of Wolverhampton. Check on the university website, check on the personal websites or travel related websites of Wolverhampton, and then finalize it before you are landing to the United Kingdom.
Mhm. So see, like two things, especially I believe, like in most cases, because our parents don't want to just like send their kids abroad if they cannot afford the tuition, first thing, and second, the living cost. And absolutely, like those two things matter. Like you just mentioned about the accommodation and the cost, like based on the university locations. Let's say whether it is in a very expensive city or let's say big cities, and because the accommodation cost varies, and then it could be even more costlier. So going to the University of Wolverhampton has a a great benefit in saving the money, right? Like you just mentioned, you could actually like spend pure amount, let's say less amount compared to big cities like in London. So that could be one advantage as well. So accommodation, also the quality, like how qualitative living standard that you are maintaining while studying, that also matters. Or also you could like share the apartment or share the room with two other colleagues, or one other friends, whatever the permission is granted. That means you have plenty of options to save your money. So I think that way we can convince our parents, convince our sponsor, let's say family, to go to the UK and then pursue the higher degrees, because the cost of attendance is always the biggest concern for many of the parents, I would say. So thanks for making it more clear that those cost of living is not that expensive in New York university area. Thank you. And
Yes,
we
of
should
course.
highlight that too. But one thing I believe, like what we should not mention to the visa officer, though we can like mention to the admission officer about less money or more money, living in a particular areas in the UK. Rather, we could say, like we are capable of spending amount anywhere, like living in London or Birmingham or Manchester, anywhere. Because see, like we should not highlight the cost of living, uh, just by saying that, like, we are going to live in a less expensive city. No, rather, like, we should always represent ourselves as a strong candidate financially as well, which I believe we'll be talking more in our last segment, that is financials. All right. So, dear viewers, how you are, uh, you know how you are, like, getting this tips, like, please let us know on our chat box as well. I believe, like, this has been very productive, very helpful for you in your preparation to the interviews, the credibility interviews, for the university as well as for visa as all right, please let us know. Yeah, let's continue with the next topic here. uh, I'm glad that we just covered our second section. Now the third one, about the future plan. How much can we talk about our future plans to the officer, Prasar?
Yes, if you are being asked about your future plan, you should always tell what is your future plan. But at the same time, you should establish a fact that how your future plan is in line with your present study and your past studies. So this is a very prime factor which you have to establish. Like I'll just give you an example. As a student, say I am going for MBA, and when I'm being asked that what is your future plan, and I tell the officer that I have acres of lands with me, and I'm going to do farming, some scientific farming in my farms back to my home country. In that case, this is not a genuine student, because as a genuine student, if I want to be a farmer, if I want to do a farming on a large scale, if that is my focus, I should study something relevant in agriculture field or in farming, scientific farming, etc. MBA is not a right course for me. So that's why maybe you are not understanding your future aim and your future aspirations. If you are understanding that, then you will choose your future study very wisely. So you should do that. Don't make your answer just to convince somebody. Convince yourself and ask yourself that what is my future plan. Accordingly, you choose your course. If you are doing that, you did not prepare for any answer for that matter. You already have that answer, because your factors which you have chosen to choose a particular course was well researched enough.
Hmm. Well, of course, like, the field must be relevant. If you are pursuing the the course like agriculture, you must have the background relevant to that. If you are, like, going to pursue your, like, cyber security, let's say MS in cyber security, you must have some you must have, like, IT background academically as well. And if you are, like, going to be pursuing social work program, you must have relevant background. But for MBA, which is like, professional degree, you could come from various background, like even from engineering or IT or social work, could be many. So it depends, like, which program and what sort of industry experience, industry qualification, or those things are important for you. Yeah, you're right. So let's move on. Like you said, future plans, because of course we are going abroad and getting a degree with an aspiration to make our future, make our careers. So how easy, like, does that plan sound like a reality, or coming to the University of Wolverhampton, Brasser? Brief.
Yes, so I would again, I think we have already covered it, and I would
Yeah, yeah,
again
please.
want
Okay.
to
All right. Okay.
emphasize that
Hmm.
whatever you are
Reminder.
doing, that should be genuine one. If
Hmm.
that is genuine one, you need not worry. If that is not genuine, don't go to abroad. It's not
Hmm.
compulsory for each student to go to United Kingdom or go to University of Wolverhampton to study. So if your future is clear, in your perspective, if you know what do you want to be, if you know that you have to uplift your lifestyle, etc., then you plan these things. And then if you are lacking in some of your research, etc., get in touch with us, get in touch with Bradford International, and then they will tell you what all things you need to consider. Then you consider that, again do a research, and then you finalize it.
Absolutely. Okay. It was a kind of like a reminder from the very beginning, where we started from. So of course, future matters. About like the current occupation that we should explain about, if they have got any work experience. I believe like when you are interviewed, if you have got previous experience, work experience, that is also matter. That also matters. So future plans, like what would you plan to do after completing your degree from this university, or typically this degree. So what are the explanation that you think, I'm just like skipping some of the things, like I just like talked about, like current occupation. I believe like students has better knowledge about mentioning that, and also what career they want to pursue in the future, and relevant work experience, or like returning a job. Like if you already have a job in your home country, and now like going to pursue a high degree and again come back to the same job, so you should be able to mention that as well. So what are the things like you should be able to mention about some plans, like post study plans, Brasser? Or is it okay
Yes.
to mention them, like there is PSW in the UK, and I could be like doing some years. I could be doing work for some years and then come back to Nepal or your home country. So what could be the best answer?
So, as a working professional, say for example, I am a student and I have 5 6 years of work experience. So then
Hmm.
I would say that I have already worked in this field, in this particular job role, where I have explored these activities in my past job. Now
Hmm.
I'm going to study masters in this, whichever is the course you want to apply to. Under that, I will be studying these modules, which are in line with my past work experience, and in future I wanted to be something which is again in line with it, and this is an upliftment from my past job by the help of these course modules which I'll be studying in my masters. And that's how you are establishing a fact that your future aspirations in terms of jobs are in line, and that is that is being supported by your past experience. So if you can establish this fact, yes, you have to say, in fact you don't have to hide anything, you need to say that in terms of post study work visa, which in United Kingdom we say new graduate route, all the
Hmm.
students are getting that after successful completion of their study. If they are going on tier 4 study visa, they will be allowed to work in the United Kingdom for 2 years duration. So if you want to work there, if you want to explore the opportunities in terms of industry experience, you want to utilize the learning which you had, and now you want to do something in the job in the same field, no need to worry. Yes, you can say that. In fact, you need to say that. So you check within yourself. If your plan is that I'll study something in computer science and I don't have any work experience, I would want to take some work related experience in the United Kingdom for 2 years because I'm getting that opportunity. So yes, you
Hmm.
do that, and then you come back to your home country. So you can do that, but again you will have to justify this fact. You will have to establish a strong ties with your home country. You will have to establish that in your home country you are getting again the available opportunities which are in line with your previous job or what job you are doing in the United Kingdom. So if you are being able to establish, you should be telling that. If you want to explore new graduate route, you should be telling. In fact, this is for you all guys, but it just need to be genuine. If I have studied computer science and my intention is to work in some supermarket there for next 2 years, this is not a good intention. This is not a good student. So you just have to be take care of this, and then every answer is a good answer.
Yeah, because it is itself a credibility interview, and it's like whether you are a genuine one or not, whether like you have a genuine intention or not. So these things are actually like verified during these interviews. So this is to be noted. Absolutely, like the future plan must be relevant to what you achieve. Let's say you uh, achieve your degree, you complete your degree, then you're going to like continue your uh, work, let's say career, in the same field, because for the same purpose you are pursuing your higher degrees there. So that must be a relevant one. Absolutely, thanks for that. Well, like I got a very good query here, and absolutely this is very important question. Like, you could often be asked if you have got a educational gap, an educational gap, or like some years of gap. Let's say you have nothing like done in between. Let's say you passed in 2018 and now you're applying for 2021, so 3 years gap. You may be saying that you just spent exploring about the destination, let's say UK, US, or other countries, and even like searching for a good university, or like explaining blah blah, like you spend some time like just doing some research about the program. So can you just fill up that gap with that said, or like there must be something like you must be presenting a work experience or something like that, because they want to know like what you've been doing after completing a degree, or what is it important or not?
Yeah, it is important. You are being asked sometime, and if you are being asked that, why is this gap? What have you done? And if your answer is, as you were telling Pawan, that last 3 years I was just finalizing the study destination where I want to study, that means, you are not good, capable student to go for a tier for a study visa. You took 3 years time to just to finalize which university or which country. It's not a good answer. It's not a
Absolutely.
good student. Don't come to United Kingdom, don't come to University of Wolverhampton.
Right.
But yes, if you have some work experience, or if you are, say for example, I had some students those who were preparing for the preparatory examinations. For 2 3 years they have prepared, they have all of those proofs, they had appeared for the examination. Unfortunately they could not clear that. Then one day it clicked in their mind that, let's go ahead for some further studies, let's sharpen my skills little more educationally, and then probably maybe in future I will again go back to my past dream of those preparatory examinations. And then they thought, let me do masters. This is a genuine justified clarification. So if you have done doing something, if that is justified, gap is not a problem. But if you have not done anything, no work experience, no research, nothing you have done, you were just sitting idle thinking in your mind that which can be the best destination. In my dream someday Pawan will come and Pawan will tell me that, what, I am Lord Education Industry, and you should go to University of Wolverhampton, UK. It's not a good answer. You should not come. If it is
Absolutely.
justified, gaps are not a problem.
That's too interesting, scenario. Of course, you should not be taking that long period of time just searching for a good program, good university, a good destination. If you are a genuine student, you see like things click on your mind like that. So you should be like just planning in time. I see like some could like say, see, last year the world is going under this situation, so I could not actually like think well. So is there any consideration to past year, let's say, because this is very unprecedented time, and people didn't have people never thought about it. So will there be an excuse, let's say for some program you would say like we just accept students with 3 or 4 years, sorry, let's say just 2 year gap, but you passed in 2018, now 21. So would you consider like 2020 as an exceptional year, or how is it? Or if you could explain something strongly in your SOP, statement purpose, do you think that gonna suffice that, or that's gonna fulfill the criteria, or let's say be a valid reason?
Yes. In fact, these last 1.5 year, I say, are
Mhm.
not being ideal, and you can say anything for this. But as a genuine student, say if I am a student and I want to study, for example, mechanical engineering, in
Mhm.
that my inclination is say thermodynamics. I'm sitting since last 1.5 year at my home because I have already cleared my bachelor in the past, and at that time I could not go because of COVID to any country or to any university, may that be University of Wolverhampton. But as a genuine student, what would I do? I would say that, okay, rather sitting here, I should participate in some symposium. I would search on internet. Internet is everywhere. You are on Instagram, you are on Snapchat, you are on FB, you are everywhere. So of course you can also find on Google, which all are free courses running, free symposium, free awareness campaigns are running, related to thermodynamics, and you will do that as a genuine student. So if you have done any of these free classes, etc., there are some paid classes as well. So you check your pocket, you check your available time, and I believe that these days you will have a lot of time with you if you have already completed a past study. So if you have done these things, if you have not done, start doing it today. If you have done these things, you are again satisfying the interviewer that yes, you are a genuine student. And as a genuine student, you always had in the back of your mind, how can I do better in the same field which I want to go ahead and pursue with. So if you have done that, it's a very good gap. In fact, many of the time I have seen that students could establish this fact that, oh, I'm thankful to God that I got this 1.5 year where there was no cinema theater, no pub, nothing, no friends, no games, no sports, and I could do what I could do some research particularly about this. I have read some of the research papers, some of the publications of some of the notable person in my field, which I did never had a chance because I was busy at that time with friends, with chatting, etc. These days, no World Cup is happening, nothing is happening. I have got some time, so I could do something relevant to my field, which I could not do in my past. So if you are doing these things, you are a genuine student. You can justify all of these gap if you are a genuine student.
Absolutely. So, like further to that, say that like I think we talked a little bit before as well. See, like if you come from a different background and now you so want to like and change into the a different degree. Let's say you come from like engineering and now like you're going for the MBA degree. So I think that is not a big issue. But again, like why do you want to change that? So do we have to mention that?
Yes, yes. If you are changing your stream, you need to mention that why are you changing it? Why your future aspiration earlier was something different, why it is something different now, because you are changing your field. And again, at the same time, you will have to establish a fact that how your previous stream which you were studying is going to add some value in there. Like say for example, I
Hmm.
have studied bachelor's in computer science, and now I want to study something in management, and I say them that I already have technical aspect of studies with me during my bachelor. I have 2 3 years of work experience. Now I want to study something in management so that I can get a job in a techno management field. If I am doing that, yes, I am a genuine student. But if I am just applying to MBA because my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my friend wants to study MBA, that's why I would also go ahead and study MBA. No, no, no. This is not a good course for you. Don't apply for it. Don't take it.
Yeah, that's somebody's plan, not your own. So like you have to be a
Yes,
genuine applicant. Correct.
yes.
So last thing, see, if I've been working for 10 years after my degree, let's say bachelor's, and now I want to like pursue my like degree, let's say MSc cybersecurity. So you know, do you think like this is the right time for me to come back to my studies? And do you think it's approvable?
Can you please come again?
I
I'm
mean,
so
like
sorry.
let's say like I completed back in 2010, and now like it's already been 10 years that I've been working right after that. Now I want to come back to my studies. Let's say I'm gonna continue my masters in cybersecurity. Let's say IT. So is this a valid reason for me to like convince the university first to get the offer, and again like to convince the visa officer?
So what I could understand that I have completed something in, say, computer science or cybersecurity 10 years
Right.
ago,
Right.
relevant, and
Hmm.
then in 10 years I have been working. Now I
Hmm.
want to study MSc cybersecurity because I wanted to study that 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Then here one question is, justification will ask you that why have you not studied the same thing in last 10 years? What was the obstacle? And if you can clear the doubt of the interviewer that last 10 years, why could you not pursue that, and now what has changed, which was not there 10 years ago, and now the favorable circumstances have come, which are those favorable circumstances? If you can establish this, no problem at all with 10 years gap, because no study, no, there is no bad time to do a good thing. So if your
Mhm.
future aspirations was something which you could not do at that time 10 years ago, maybe financial reason, maybe at that time you couldn't explore, you were not aware, maybe at that time you were more inclined towards earning some money. So whatever is the reason, you have to tell them, and then you have to establish that in last 10 years what have you done relevant, and what favorable situation have you got now, what has now motivated to go to Bradford International, speak to them, knowing about the university, knowing about the course, and then you apply to University of Wolverhampton, how this transition has happened. So if you can establish that, justify that, it's no problem.
Absolutely. By the way, I have not done IT, but business studies. So that was a case study. just just kidding you. Anyway, so I just made a case scenario for that, and it is well explained. Thanks for that. Of course, the timeline has to be very relevant and very realistic. And again, if you didn't could not do it some years ago, why do you think it's the time now? So you must be mentioning that. See, your career needs you with more enhanced knowledge and skills. So for that reason, now you want to you want to hone that skills and then come back to the workplace in a better position. So this could be the best answer. You're right on that. Thank you. So it's really been a wonderful having this talk show with you, Brasser. Thank you for all this opportunity with us today. Yeah, let's continue with this. So as the last question on this section about future plans, of course everybody wants to first study and then then get a degree and then look for jobs. Of course you want to know about the expected salary or something, the expectation. So do you necessarily have to uh, tell something about what kind of job, or how much you looking for as a salary in the intended career? Is it important?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, say for example, I am spending 25 lakhs. So
Hmm.
maybe the interviewer wants to know that how are you going to earn that money back? How are you going to get the money back? Because you are spending a lot of money, and this decision which you are taking to study masters in computer science, for that matter, this is something for your career upliftment. So it is something which you have are doing to change your life. So they would want to know, like for example, if I'm asking as a student that what is your future goal, you say that I want to become a software engineer. So my second question would be that will you be getting so much money, so that it can justify this expenditure of 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs? I would say yes. I'm in my home country. I have some companies like this where the average salary package is this, where the freshers are getting this much salary. So you can do all of these research on the job portals. There are multiple job portals in Nepal, anywhere. So check on there, what are the requirement to get that job. You need to be aware because your future aspiration to become software engineer. So if you don't know that what all skills are required to become software engineer, how would you finalize a good course for you? If you don't know, then which all skills you have to develop during your master's studies, you would not be aware. If you don't know what are the other requirements to become a software engineer, what is the salary package, which are the good companies which you can target from the beginning itself, that I want to be in Microsoft, I want to work in Microsoft. So you would be start following Microsoft, where are the job drives, what is the salary package. So you need to do these research. These are pretty much required, not only to satisfy the interviewer, it is for your own life, for your own career upliftments. Yes, you need to do all of these research.
Absolutely, because like you said, simply you should know where you're going to be at, and what path you are following to, and how you should start with, and the expectation must be clear in advance. That's how you become a very career focused or career oriented candidate. So that's for the same reason the interview officer would like to ask you how much salary, what sort of career goals you have. Absolutely. Thanks for that. With that I explained, it was very important section, and I believe we covered that pretty well. Thank you for that. Now let me just recap. We first started with the uh, intention to study as a topic. Then second, info about the course of choice and the university. The last one that we just covered was about your future plans. And now the list, the last one, but not the least, financial questions. Like we just touched a base a little bit about your parents, your family's intention to send you to the UK at the University of Wolverhampton, and just want to know, like, how affordable it is, the course, the careers that you can actually, like, start, all this stuff, like, now, like, money matters a lot. So Brasser, explain something to us, how we should plan ahead financially as well.
Yes. So, in this answer, thank you, Pawan. In this answer, I would want to segregate it for PG, Masters, and Bachelors
All right.
differently.
Sure.
So, as per United Kingdom Border Agency rules, you need to have a 1 year tuition fee and 1 year living expense either in your bank account, savings bank account, fixed deposit, or education loan, your account, or maybe your partner, sponsor's account, parents. It should be there. So, if it is there, you will definitely clear the funds and finance. But what I want to emphasize in here is that I've always suggest students to pay the tuition fee of 1 year while you are applying for cast letter at any university and to the University of Wolverhampton. So pay 1 year tuition fee. Now you only have to show 1 year living expense, which as per United Kingdom Border Agency norms are 1023 GBP for 9 months you will have to show. So that would be close to 9,200 some pound, which you have to have to have in your bank account since last 28 days. And the list of banks which are eligible, which are qualified to hold the funds as per United Kingdom Border Agency, is listed on the UKBA website, or you can get in touch with Bradford International. They will tell you which all banks are there. So you can do that, and that's how you can plan your finance. What would I suggest for undergrad students? Your course duration would be of either 3 years or maybe of 4 years. So you have 1 year funds with you. That's very good. You have already paid 1 year tuition fee to University of Wolverhampton. Good. You already have funds. Very good. But maybe at the time of interview, the interviewer wants to know that do you have a future plan of funds payment or not. So say
Mhm.
for example, if you want to know, okay, 1 year is good, I could see that, but how will you manage a second year?
Mhm.
Even though it is not compulsory to have that much money in your account, you do not put 4 years money in the bank account. Don't do that. But you need to know that, say for example, my parents are earning, their annual income is this much, we have liquid money flow of this much by some other sources also, maybe agriculture, maybe some business, etc. Or we have a joint family, so our overall family income is this much. So if you are telling these things to the interviewer would be convinced, he will be satisfied to know that yes, this student knows. For that matter, at the point one, he knows that how much expenditure will that be for the entire course duration. He is not only worried about 1 year, he is worried about entire 4 years, and the interviewer is satisfied. So for bachelors, you need to prepare your answer. You need to know your funds. How will you pay for second year? How will you pay for third year? If that is a 4 year course, then how will you pay for 4 years? So you need to know all of these things. You need to establish this. You need to convey this to the interviewer as well.
Absolutely, there are so many things that we need to, like, consider while we are, like, getting interviewed by the officer. Of course, like the cost of course, and then the living cost, and the cost as mentioned by the UKVI, like city wise, let's say London and outside London, for 9 months. That's one academic year. So like you said, 1023, that must be, like, a monthly fee that must be added, in addition, that must be added to the tuition cost. So, like, overall cost plus your travel cost, that must be combined. And then the maintenance funds, the financial, would be like so on as the total amount of that, at least. All right. So how would you, like, do you need to, like, show the sources, or let's say explain about the sources, like incomes, or let's say you have the assets, let's say properties, or savings at the bank, how would you convince that you have a strong source of like these funds?
Yes. So, if you have real money,
Mhm.
United Kingdom Border Agency is not asking you to provide the documents for that. You
Mhm.
do not need to submit the income tax return. Those are not required. Only 1 year
Right.
tuition fee. And I encourage and I suggest all the students who are coming to University of Wolverhampton to manage your funds very well. We always suggest the students to pay the entire 1 year tuition fee in advance, because anyway you have to pay, whether you are paying in the
Yeah.
month of July or you are paying in the month of August or September.
Right.
It's just a matter of 1 or 2 months, but your
Mhm.
funds are being sorted if you are paying the entire tuition fee in one go before applying for cast letter after clearing the credibility interview. So when you have applied, you got your unconditional offer, you have cleared the credibility interview, then you pay the 1 year tuition fee and just so the remaining living expense in your bank account and your visas are through. In terms
Absolutely.
of other documents, those are not required. But as a genuine student, you need to know that what are all my family assets, how much money do we have, flow, income source, etc. So you need to know, you need to be aware of this. There is no need of production of all the documents.
Absolutely. Though you don't need to like produce any documents, but you may be asked like how those sources are collected, or let's say how these funds are being deposited into your bank, so like you'll be able to pay for your tuition, living costs, and all this. And yes, I also like agree with you, like to ease your burden, you may pay 1 year tuition in one go, let's say, because see, like after visa also, like in most cases most universities will ask you pay at least like 75% of the tuition of the year, for the year, or like 100%, like that's a 1 year fee. So this means like even your parents, of course, like either way they have to pay that amount. So why not now and then ease your burden, so you may not be like taking a pressure like how would I pay for the next year, or like next semester, or after a few months. So why not now? So like if you're a genuine student, if you have those support from your family or sponsor, I think this is the right decision to make, paying 1 year fee. So yeah, this is advisable as well. Thanks, Brasa. Next thing would be, yeah, I think we covered that, like how will they pay. Like of course we need to tell them the sources of income, the properties, and of course like savings and the bank. So like of a confusion among the students, is there a different, like does it impact to the visa decision, or like the university, let's say visa decision, like if you have got a, educational loan, or like that must be a saving at a bank. So do you see the difference in terms of getting the visa?
Um, no, as per rule, if you have received education loan,
Hmm.
there are no conditions on that. It is an unconditional education loan letter. There is no problem in that. But
Hmm.
of course, if you have your own money, ready money can, there should not be any problem with dispersal or so. So if you can arrange your own money for 1 year, I would suggest to go ahead with that. And if you do not have that, and if you are planning that on the basis of education loan, there is no problem in that too. That can be a second option to take education loan. But at the same time, you need to see that education loan letter is writing it there that there are no additional condition for the disbursement of that money apart from visa. So you have already fulfilled all the requirements, because banks, before giving you the education loan, they ask for some set of documents. You have already submitted those. There are no additional condition in there. If you want to avoid these hassles, best is you plan your studies on the basis of your savings account.
Absolutely. Brasser, I think we are absolutely like doing great in terms of like delivering the right message to our students and the viewers who say we're watching us right now on the recorded as well. uh, See, like we just mentioned, we need to see, like, how much tuition is mentioned on the offer letter. Second thing, like, where the university is located. Like for the University of Wolverhampton, like, it's like monthly 1,000 to 3 pound, for 9 months. That's a maintenance cost plus like travel cost. So that could be like combined, and like that should be shown into as a form of, like, bank saving, or like an education loan with no conditions. So, dear students, or anybody watching us right now, like all our dear viewers, that make sure that, if it is a bank balance. Let's say if you're issuing a bank certificate or statement, that must be 28 days older, okay, at the time of like, issuing that certificate. And if it is an education loan, this could be like, any time that has been issued by your loan processing bank. All right. So either of this could be processed, or in some scenarios, I don't know, like how that helps, or how is your financial scenario. See, like, it could be half and half as well. So like somebody of your family could pay the first year tuition, or like, the tuition cost, and the remaining could be, from other member of your family, but must be related, like showing the education loan or something. So you can, like, combine this way, but we'll be definitely, like, guiding the best option, but depending on your case scenario. But for now, like, just to make it sure, like, you should know which funds and how they are coming from, like where they're coming from. And of course, you should know, like, how much cost of living and how much tuition at your university, at your campus area are like. And this will definitely, like, help you crack the interviews, like, succeed the interviews. All right. So be it from the university itself, or the visa officer, before granting you the visa, or like making any decision. All right. So I think we have covered so many things on this platform today, regarding the visa credibility tips, or even, like, admission, or let's say a precast credibility interview for our students. So what is your final message on this, so before, wrapping up right here to our
Um,
viewers right now?
there are few last things which I would want to say to all the viewers, all the students, those who are referring to this video today. Number one, you don't have to prepare your answer. Don't rehearse your answer. Always refer to United Kingdom Border Agency website to know the funds, finance, eligibility, required documents, etc. Take always a reference of that. Don't rely on anyone. Do your own research before finalizing a university. And if you are justified, if you have everything justified, you will definitely clear the credibility interview. So this is my tip, and this is my last word to all the viewers. I would want to say one last thing, that apart from these tips, credibility interviews, I have seen I have in this industry since last 15 years. It's a long time. I have seen lot many
Same time like myself.
students.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we started
Right.
in different part of the earth. But yes, yes, so in this we all have seen that students, how are they getting successful visa. We have also seen the students, those who are not being successful. So the students, those who are not being successful, for them I have seen that in the refusal letter, may that be from any country, any for that matter, any university, this is just a generic thing. And this is my personal opinion, that in the refusal letter, most of the time which is mentioned are that a student is not a genuine student, or they're giving very generic response, or they write that we expect a genuine student to be give a proficient explanation, or I'm not satisfied that your post study plans are realistic. There are some things written in the refusal letters, like why have you chosen this particular course, and you could not convince the visa officer. So these are the main, and you offered vague and generic answers. So these are some sort of explanation which I have seen in the refusal letters of the students. With fortunately, those were not the students from University of Wolverhampton, but you never know. It can be you, it can be me, it can be anyone. So in these, the refusal explanation which I have just said you, most of the time you can see that they have mentioned vague, not justified, not genuine, intention is not clear. So these things are very generic thing, and most of the students, they are taking this so lightly that they don't, they don't see in themselves that why are they being asked these questions and what are their answer, whether they are being to fulfill, whether they are being to establish the fact which is being asked. So that's why I would suggest that, before going for any credibility interview, please ask yourself these questions: that have you done a good research, have you finalized this university on the basis of facts, this course on the basis of facts, what are your funds, where are the funds, how much money, exact amount, how much required, how much do you have, what is your future plan, whether it is in line or not. You need to do all of these questions. You need to ask yourself, give an answer to yourself, and think from the point of view of the interviewer. If you are being able to satisfy yourself, then interviews will not be a problem.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. And then, if I were a visa officer today, then I would grant you visa, brother.
Thank
So
you so much.
what would you do? Like if I were uh, applying for a visa and you are the visa officer? Anyway, we had a
I,
very great
I,
time.
I will definitely grant you the visa, and
Uh-huh.
I'll ask you to come to United Kingdom and meet Boris Johnson too.
Absolutely, like we'd love to, and absolutely, that would be great. And I heard like Boris Johnson was scheduled to come to India for a visit, of official visit, but he had to cancel due to the ongoing situation. But yes, it's not like like kind of forever situation. Of course, it's a
Of course.
precaution, like like just controlling the like new wave. By the way, like as you can like I think I should pop this up. So as you can see, like I just like like got it from BBC that more than 33 million people in the UK have received their at least like one dose of like coronavirus vaccine. So in the UK, it's like distribution is rolled out like quite like in a large number. And yes, like they are not closed; their borders open. And for that great news, like we are without any issues getting the offer letters from the University of Wolverhampton, and in a very quick fashion. So within a couple of days, except some programs which are to be like reviewed by the faculty. So this is a great support from you and your team, Brasser. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to work so closely with you, and together with my team uh, and our valued channel partners in Nepal and India. We are excited to work with you, and then bring in more best and bright students to the university in the coming future as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you
for your
for
time.
having me.
Thank you for your time, and it was a wonderful session. I could see that like it was a great session, a great participation by all our viewers today, especially the students who have their offers on hand. By the way, like as you know, we have 30 plus offers on hand as of now, and we have more in pipeline, and we absolutely see a great uh, success together with you, Brasser, in this intake and beyond. So we feel so thrilled, like to even like work more closely with you and your team. Uh, Thanks again for your wonderful session today, and it's a great session because it's a very unique one. Like you said, like when you can explain unique features about the university, then you will crack the credibility interview. I think like we've been doing great in terms of like giving the best and the unique university in town in the country, and for our students' benefit, of course. And we continue our service that way, even
Your
better.
service got better. Thank you. Yes, of course, I am pretty much sure of this, and I can see that the growing support from our all partners, particularly Bradford International, and I can see that the students are doing a lot of research. They themselves have started applying to University of Wolverhampton. This is overwhelming, and I would hope that this will continue. The trend will continue in future as well. Thank you so much
Thank,
for all your support, Pawan,
thank,
Subhanshu, Ravindra. All of you have made my days very beautiful in Nepal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you so
we
much.
can't thank you enough for your last two visits. Like in 2 months, I think we got your presence in our office, and it was a pleasure, presenting you with our students. And we look forward to having you in the near future as well. And be safe, and yeah, we'll get in touch with you as we are more closely. All right. Thank you, and take care. Dear viewers, that was the special session about your visa credibility, or let's say the university admission or the pre-cost credibility interviews tips. And I truly enjoyed having our guest, and I believe you had a great time too. And in the meantime, I want to announce about our next program, that is next live session. Uh, it will be with the University of Hertfordshire, which is a great and top name internationally, and we feel uh, privileged. We have this proud partnership with the University of Hertfordshire, UK, and this is very close to central London, like just 25 minutes from central London. As you can see, the great features here. They have fantastic employability rate, like 97% and higher. Affordable cost. They are top ranked, like gold ranked university with great location, great programs, award winning programs, yet very affordable. And as you can see, the top programs they got: business, nursing, engineering, computing, IT, social work, pharmacy, and many more. All right. So that is actually, it was announced for the 26th, this Monday. Due to some reasons, we had to reschedule it for Wednesday, that is 28th, but the same time, like 11 a.m. And I hope you would participate, and will have opportunity to get to know more about this university, about studying in the UK, and that way we can even do better together with you. And Bradford Global, Team Bradford Global, would like to thank you for your support. Your application with us, the processing is amazingly going great with you all, and we look forward to serving you better in the coming future as well. So until coming Wednesday, or if something pops up for other universities from other countries as well, as you might know, Bradford works for other countries besides the UK, for like US, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Please feel free to come visit us, meet with our counselor, find out about your options. We have plenty of universities to offer to you. Like for US, we have more than 150 universities to offer to you. In Canada, more than 1,000 universities and colleges. In the UK, we have almost all the popular universities, and you got multiple options. Free with the scholarship, less tuition, great programs, more cities, mention whatnot. All right, and yes, this is me, Pawan Bista, the managing director. Want to sign off for today. I want to thank you, everyone who have joined us today, the students, parents, or anybody who had joined us today, and especially to all our valued channel partners for your continued support. We look forward to working more closely with you. All right, take care. And yes, by the way, the coronavirus, another wave in Nepal and India is rising. Please be safe. Safety is the first thing. We care about you, and that absolutely, this could be the time for you to stay home, like get as much information as you can, prepare yourself for your next steps. If you're continuing your process to study in the UK, or to US or Canada or Australia or New Zealand. All right, so take care. Bye bye, and namaste, everyone.